Welcome back. Last episode we talked about actions being louder than your beliefs, and I know that these are super short episodes, but our goal is to take as little of your time as possible and give you that one answer that you're looking for today. And then you can just look through the other videos if you're looking for another answer on another day. And so the second part of that was, okay, we know that actions speak louder than our beliefs. How do we actually make our lives look like that? And the answer that you gave me was you have to act before you feel.
Yeah. That's kind of really what faith is. Believing in something before it happens, whatever causes you to believe to the point of acting before you see any results of it. It's kind of like, for example, we were talking earlier about depression. A lot of people go through depression. And really the answer to depression is all physiology, or in other words, it's all the actions that you take before you feel like taking any actions, right? I mean, when you're depressed, you don't really feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
You absolutely just, just let me lay here.
Definitely.
Leave me alone. I don't want to do anything. And you don't do anything because you don't feel like it. But the solution is the reverse of that, is doing something before you feel like it, right? Like, if all you feel like doing, all you can muster up to do is just put your shoes on that day and tie them. If that's all you can do, then that's your first step. That's the first step of being able to be, ultimately out of that depression. Each day, do a little bit more, but start small. And I think, understanding that and being able to do that is really going to be the beginning of a journey of freedom.
Okay, but how do you take that first step, right? It's like, if you are going through that season where your actions are not lining up with your beliefs, or maybe you're depressed, or maybe you're super anxious and you're scared to do something, or you don't feel like doing something, like, that's the problem, right? Like, I can't just do the first step. If I could just do that, I wouldn't be in this situation. So, like, what changes do I make? What do you do differently to make those steps? Because clearly there's a blockage, there's something stopping you from taking that step.
Yeah, and I think we hinted on that in the video before, where we were talking about when you actually really believe something, it causes you to act on it. And if you don't really believe it, then it's really hard to act on something. It's really hard, for example, for me to go downstairs and get a car. If you told me you gave me a car, if I didn't really believe you, I'm not going to be wasting my time going downstairs to see, because I don't believe you.
So the problem is how to believe it more? Because, like, don't focus on the action, maybe, is what you're saying. But instead, you should focus on believing it more. How do you do that?
Well, it's focused on believing it more, but you don't have to make yourself believe something. For example, when it's something that makes you happy, you want to believe it. And if there's credibility, you take credibility and you combine it with something you want to believe, then that causes you to have actions. I mean, it's like an automatic generation that when you can take someone talking to you that is believable, and then you take something, that they said that's really something that you've hoped for, that you're excited about, that you want it to be true, you put those two things together and you're going to be acting. You're going to, have corresponding actions with that. It's when you have the dissonance within you that you're getting signals and people are telling you things and you don't really believe those things, that it's like drudgery. It's so hard to act and just to do that.
Okay, so we can boil this down to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, this is how I'm seeing this conversation so far.
Okay.
You've got a problem with your actions, which means you got a problem with your beliefs.
Yes.
You got a problem with your beliefs.
Yes.
It means you got a problem with the credibility of the source.
Partly, yes, that's right.
So is that what you have to fix?
Well, you can't fix someone else's credibility, right? You can only fix you and yourself. You can't fix someone else. So,
I guess you fix your understanding of their credibility?
no, not really. Let me give you an example of what I'm trying to talk about. For example, someone that you trust is because you spent enough time, you spent enough understanding with them to come to a point that you trust them. You don't trust somebody that you just met on the street, or you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not.
Yeah.
So the more you get to understand a person, the more you spend time with them, the more you joke and fellowship and have a good time, that's when you begin to trust them. That's when they have more credibility with you, because, hey, that's my bud, I've known him for a while, and somebody that you've known for years, of course you're going to trust them better than somebody that you've only known for 1 week. So that's how you get more credibility, is you spend time with the person or with God. You can't trust God if you really don't spend any time with him. He doesn't have any credibility for you. You've got to spend time with him, and that's in prayer and reading the scriptures. That's when you begin to come to a point where the good things he said to you, the promises he's made to you, then you can trust him because you're spending so much time with him.
Okay, and I don't want to go in circles here, but I feel like, I don't know if you're stuck at all. Maybe not, but I certainly get stuck when it comes to this. And it's like, okay, but there's like a chicken and an egg problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you got to spend time with God to trust him.
Yeah.
And you got to trust him to be motivated to spend time with him.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, if you're stuck and this flywheel isn't spinning, how do you get this thing spinning?
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, which is a good point. There's a process here that we kind of do naturally, but we don't really realize it. We're not really thinking about it. And the way the process works is you start with your thoughts. When you're trying to be a friend with a person, the first things are going to be the first impressions you have about that person and what you're thinking about what they're doing and what they're saying, right? And then from your thoughts will lead to your words, that you will begin to talk to them, have conversation with them, get some kind of understanding. And the more you think about what a good friend they are and talk about what a good friend they are, that will generate credibility and get you to the point where you really can trust them. So it's not just a cycle, what we call a catch-22 cycle.
Yeah.
Where you need something to start it, but you can't start it until you have the thing you need. So it just goes back and forward. So that's the process. Starts with your thoughts, then your words, then leads to your belief, which will lead to your actions. And something we haven't said, but then your actions basically become your character. What you continue to do all the time is your character.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, then let me challenge you with this. If you were sending a message in a bottle, right, in the ocean to a shipwrecked island where there's a guy on it.
Okay.
And you've only got one little piece of paper, that's all you got to put in the bottle.
Okay.
And this guy's problem is he can't act before he feels. Too anxious, too depressed, too hopeless.
Being shipwrecked, right?
Yeah, being shipwrecked, exactly. And you got to condense down your prescription in like 1-2 lines, tops. What are you going to write on that paper to get him to get out of this stuck position and act before he feels?
Well, that's a good question. I suppose the thing that I would tell him is really what I told you. Number one, don't give up hope. Somehow in here, that good things can happen to you. Up here, you don't understand how. How am I going to get off of this island? But you know that there's more than just what you understand. You know that there's hope. don't give up hope. Good things, something good can still come out of this bad situation. I don't know how. I can't tell you how. But it's possible if you believe. And the next thing I'll write on this paper is keep moving forward. Whatever difficulties you have on this island, you can't find water, you can't find food, keep moving forward. And somehow, hopefully you come up with some water. Next day, hopefully you come up with some food. If you keep moving forward, you'll get there. What you want good to happen inside of your heart here, the only way to achieve it is to keep moving forward.
So you'd put 1, don't lose hope. 2, keep moving forward.
Oh yeah.
And you think that's kind of our best hope of getting this guy unstuck and to keep going.
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, cool. So that got me thinking, and I feel like once I got this perspective, like it really started to change my life. And it's this idea that like you don't need to change who you are holistically, like in one day or 1 month or in one, like it's not like, oh, I want to be something different. Like I want to be less fearful, or I want to be more disciplined. Whatever it is, you don't just have to like, okay, what are all the actions? What are all the habits I have to change to be that? Boom, tomorrow I'm gonna start. Like you don't have to do that. It's almost like a voting system. When I caught this, it like really resonated with me. I can't remember who I heard say this, but someone said it.
Okay.
And it's essentially this idea that you cast one single vote. Every action is one vote. So if I decide I'm an undisciplined person, I'm gonna make 100 choices today that are undisciplined.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna cast one vote,
Yeah.
one decision, I'm gonna go for that run. That's one vote that I am a disciplined person.
Okay.
And so I focus on it vote to vote. And the second that the votes for discipline start to outweigh the votes for not discipline, then I become a disciplined person. So it's like I just focus on one vote at a time.
I like that.
And I feel like maybe that ties in really well to the idea that like, how do you act before, or I feel like that ties really well into the idea of like, how do you act before you feel?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, just think of it in terms of one single action and trying to stack those actions over the course of days, weeks, months, years.
That's good. That's really good. Absolutely true. And that's, probably the other part of what we're saying is, in a sense, what you're saying is to keep voting. Keep voting.
Yeah.
That what you believe is you're going to get enough votes for it to happen.
Yeah.
So, and that the long and the short of it is don't give up. I know it gets hard. I know it gets difficult, but don't give up. Good things can happen for you. The things you want to happen can happen for you. And it's not, giving up is the only way you lose. If you won't give up, you won't lose. It's sort of like if you had like a little cork that you put in a bottle, a little cork, and you're swimming down in the ocean. Well, you're pulling that cork down. Yeah. But the moment that you let go of that cork, the cork's nature is to head to the surface.
Yeah.
And that's what you are like with the problems in life. As soon as you can get just a little breathing room, a little freedom, if you won't give up, automatically, it doesn't matter how deeply down you've gone, doesn't matter how bad things have gotten, when you get that break, you're going to automatically start rising to the top if you don't give up, and you will survive.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think, as always, just trying to give you one practical thing that from our conversation that you can do.
Yeah.
Try to cast one vote. Look at one area in your life where you're not who you want to be, and think about one singular vote that you can cast that would be different.
Exactly.
And keep trying to do that.
Yeah.
And with that said, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.